Welcome back to The Explainer, folks. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we are looking at something that, quite frankly, shatters the mold of modern automotive design. We're breaking down some fantastic reporting from Caleb Jacobs over at The Drive, diving specifically into Toyota's vibrant, completely unapologetic new aesthetic updates for their 2027 TRD Pro off-road lineup. So buckle up because things are about to get really, really bright.
Okay, let's dive into this. Have you taken a good look at a highway or a parking lot lately? Like, really looked? If you just sit back and observe, you're hit with this endless, exhausting sea of white, black, and gray. Now don't get me wrong here, a sleek black or pristine white truck can look great. It's sophisticated, right? But when it's literally all you see everywhere you go, it gets incredibly boring. The whole automotive world has basically been swept up in this super safe, grayscale epidemic, where standing out is suddenly viewed as a massive risk.
You know, Caleb Jacobs hit the nail on the head when he said, "I'm worn out on grayscale vehicles." It's such a simple statement, but it perfectly validates this widespread frustration we're all feeling. There are a lot of enthusiasts out there who are just fundamentally tired of the total lack of expression on the road. We want some personality. We want vehicles that make a statement before you even turn the key in the ignition.
So the crucial point is understanding the underlying strategy at play here. On one hand, you have the boring status quo. Most automakers right now are perfectly content to just play it safe. They would much rather sell you a dozen slightly different shades of silver than take a risk on something vibrant, just because it's guaranteed to offend absolutely no one. Compare that to the bold rebellion. This is Toyota's approach with the TRD Pro line. They aren't trying to make a color that appeals to every single daily commuter. They're intentionally creating unique, polarizing colors that are decidedly not for everyone. And honestly, that is exactly what makes it so awesome.
And this brilliantly illustrates that Toyota isn't just trying this out for the first time. This is a proven, escalating strategy. Let's look back for a second. In previous years, Toyota rocked the off-road world with that insanely loud, completely unmissable solar octane orange. It was a massive hit. Then, last year, they followed it up with this shouty, super vibrant color called WaveMaker teal. And now, for the 2027 model year, they are dropping their newest weapon against the grayscale, Honeycomb Yellow. Let's really look at this new honeycomb paint for a second, because it's honestly fascinating. The reporting describes it as shifty, but entirely in a good way. It's this deeply sensory, light-dependent color. When you park a 2027 TRD Pro in the shadows, it actually takes on an almost eggshell or satin appearance. It's subdued, almost tactical even. But the absolute second you pull that truck out into direct sunlight, boom, it completely pops. It's maybe a little less loud than last year's teal, but it remains incredibly singular and unique. To really appreciate how bold this is, try to think of another bright yellow truck you can buy brand new right now. Go ahead, I'll wait. It's incredibly difficult, isn't it? Really, the only other yellow truck out there in the modern market is a gimmicky Hummer Special Edition. That's the whole list. So by dropping Honeycomb, Toyota is essentially capturing an entire color spectrum on the road that literally no one else is daring to touch.
Now, what's really interesting about Toyota's approach here is how they're actually splitting this yellow color palette across the lineup. It's not just a blanket paint job for everything. If you're looking at the 2027 Tundra and Sequoia TRD Pro models, they get the official honeycomb paint. But if you opt for the high-performance off-road variants of the Tacoma and the 4Runner, they get a slightly different shade called Hot Honey. Now, word is that under the setting sun, it's almost impossible to tell the difference between the two. But it's clearly significant enough for Toyota's designers to give them completely different names and paint codes.
I do want to take a brief pause right here, though, to acknowledge the elephant in the room for the real die-hard Toyota enthusiasts watching this explainer. Yes, we are all still waiting on that highly rumored, full-fledged TRD Hammer pickup. That phantom truck is still out there somewhere in the ether. But hey, even without the Hammer making its grand entrance just yet, the 2027 lineup brings some highly substantive mechanical updates to the models we are getting right now.
Let's move on and see how this hardware builds out the actual capability of the 2027 lineup, because Toyota isn't just slapping on a fresh coat of yellow paint and calling it a day. They are dressing up these off-roaders with serious hardware. For 2027, the Tundra and Sequoia TRD Pro are getting standard red tow hooks straight from the factory. Underneath, they're being equipped with FOX-enhanced QS3 adjustable shocks for vastly superior suspension tuning. And maybe the coolest part? Those insanely trick isodynamic seats. You know, the ones with the actual air shocks built right into the back of the seat to stabilize the driver during high-speed off-roading? Yeah, those are now available on the Tundra.
When you pull back and look at the whole shebang, the overarching theme here is just incredibly positive.
Whether you personally love the honeycomb and hot honey colors, or, maybe you think they're a bit much, we should all be able to agree that more color on the road is a fantastic thing. Even if it is a bit more subtle than the old solar octane orange, bringing varied, vibrant colors back is a major win. It's a win for visibility, it's a win for personal expression, and it's a massive win for car enthusiast culture as a whole.
Which brings us to the ultimate question for you. We've seen how Toyota is rebelling against the boring, identical hues of the modern highway. We've looked at the incredible light-shifting properties of honeycomb and the serious hardware backing it all up. So the question remains, are you actually ready to ditch the safe, boring grayscale and daily drive a bright yellow truck? It's a bold choice for sure, but as Toyota is proving, sometimes a bold choice is exactly what the industry needs. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. I hope you found this breakdown as fascinating as I did. Keep your eyes on the road, and I'll catch you in the next one.